Today we have with us Mr. Jayant Patil sir. Many of
Namaskar.
us might have known him through the TV channels and maybe for his speeches and for remarks in the assembly sessions. Sir has been representing his assembly constituency Islampur in Sangli for more than 3 decades, as per my knowledge, and he has served in multiple ministerial portfolios, be it from finance, rural development, home, and now he has with him irrigation portfolio. Now he is the not only the NCP state president, but he is also the legislative party leader of the NCP in the assembly, and he is the one who is known in the political circle as the man of NCP chief Sharad Pawar, who reads and understands Pawar very well. I mean, that is what I have gathered so far. So I will request sir to make an introductory remark initially, and then we will throw the floor open for the questions. So maybe sir, initially we can start with your department irrigation. Since after this government came to the power, within a couple of months, the country and world was struck with the pandemic, and all there has been financial constraint with the government that has been facing. So and now we are near normal. We are almost near normal now with the multiple restrictions being revoked. So I just wanted to ask you about what is the government's plan or strategy on taking up these irrigation projects further, or is there any plan that has been devised by your department in fast tracking and completion of these projects in near future, maybe in next 2 or 3 years?
No, what we have done since we have come in power is last 2 years we have completed 34 major and medium projects in Maharashtra, which has covered almost 3 lakh hectares of area, which has been now receiving water since last 2 years. We have, in spite of COVID, we have successfully completed these 34 projects, and the provision in the budget is increasing in all the, if you see 3 budgets in 2018-19, the budgetary provision was 8,283, 1920 it was 8,783, 2021 when our government came, the first budget, it has raised to 10,235 crore, almost 117% it has gone up. Before 21-22 year, it went to 12,955 crore, and this year 22-23 it has gone to 13,650 crore rupees. So the government is very keen on completing many projects, which, as I have mentioned, 34 we have completed. But we have taken about 104 projects as our priority projects, which we will be completing by the end of year 24. Also, we have concentrated on transferring water from westward water flowing towards sea in Nasik district to eastward, and that is one of the priorities our government has given. So we have some river linking projects like Wainganga to Narganga, which is right extreme east of Vidarbha. From Wainganga, we plan to bring water to Nalganga, which is on the border of Khandesh and Vidarbha. Then we have Par Godavari, Nar Par Girna, Damanganga Pinja, Damanganga Ekdare Godavari. These river connecting projects we have decided to implement. Maybe in this financial year, we will be starting 1 or 2 projects of these. These are very large size projects. Then we have completed one of the largest project, that is Gosi Khurd in Vidarbha. Very soon, I think Mr. Sharad Pawar and Nitin Gadkari will invite. They will visit this site, which is the effort in completing Gosikhurd is so huge that it is. I mean, this last month only. We have impounded entire water in Gosikhurd. It is a big achievement of the state government. Then we have other areas where we have some projects we have put on fast track, which are very old, going on for 25 years, 30 years. We have almost come to completion. And like Nilwande, since I became member of Legislative Assembly from 1990, I am listening Nilwande. Now it is the major canal will get over completed. Last 2 years, we have invested a lot of money we have given to this Nilwande Dam canal system. So on ground, there is lot of we are completing many projects which will give very good results in these next 2 or 3 years. Like Gosikhurd project, we have given 856 crore rupees. Amravati regional backlog, we have again given almost 2,457 crore rupees. So there are many projects which we have prioritized, and we are doing it very systematically. So probably by end of our this 5 year term, we will have completed almost. I had figure. We will have completed 104 irrigation projects, and which will cover about 2.45 lakh hectares of irrigation. This is over and about 2.92 lakh hectare, which already we have completed. So 292 plus 245, almost 5 lakh hectare or 5.4 lakh hectare land will be irrigated in this 5 years term.
So in terms of impact, how much in terms of livelihood of people and impact on people, how does it reflect? Will it reflect?
I don't have that figure now, but when we have completed 34 projects in first 2 years, and 104 projects in next 2 years. So the impact will be tremendous, huge impact. And major impact is the deficit valley of Godavari will receive a lot of water from Nasik district and the Western Ghats. So that will be a big achievement for areas like Latur, Beed, all the drought-prone area in Marathwada will be beneficiary of that diversion of water from west to east.
The NDA government is now completed over 2 years. You are known as one of the better administrators in this government. So, in terms of this government's experience with dealing with the center, how receptive has the center been with the policies and projects that the state has been taking at this point of time? And I also wanted to kind of especially ask about the riverfront development project, which the BJP has proposed and in Pune, and you had problems with that. So, did the center not take the Maharashtra government into confidence when they announced this project?
Which project?
Mula Mutha, the river development fund.
No, it is not. It is not anything against center. After having inaugurated by our Prime Minister, the local NGOs started agitation. They came to us. So they went to Sharad Pawarji, And then they were invited, and Pune Commissioner of Municipal Corporation, Irrigation Department, Environment Department was invited, and then they had a presentation. So they have tried to tell us that this will distort the entire city's like water scarcity, water will come out of the river, the cross section is reduced. So then we told them that we will do again analysis of what you are saying. The meeting took place 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They among themselves, officials and NGOs, decided to have one more meeting. So we have done nothing on that front. They will only conclude what to do.
And how receptive has been the center with regards to helping, the state government with regards to implementing?
I think when there were calamities in Konkan and all, we had requested them to, we have asked them for help. So that help has come little late. But that we also should understand that it is their government, so they may not give us priority. चलता है, ऐसा तो होता ही है. क्या करेंगे? When there is a major calamity, Prime Minister speaks to Chief Minister. That also is there. It is, I think, on few occasions he has spoken, showing concern of what is happening in the state. So case to case and time to time, it differs.
So going ahead with sir's question of the MBA completing 2.5 years here in Maharashtra, sir, I want to ask you, since beginning of this government, I mean, all the top leaders of the MBA, be it you, Ajit Pawar sir, or Utpal Sethura, Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar, everyone has gelled and mixed up very well. But when it goes to the grassroots level activist, it has always emerged that they have always had bitter differences, and they, since beginning, they have still continued to fight. And one of the contention, not just of the Sena, but of the Congress, has always been that NCP does not give enough sufficient funds to their legislators, to their departments. Recently, that delegation by Congress had met CM and raised the issue. In last 1 or 2 weeks back, Gajanan Kirtikar, one of the Sena MP, and Tanay Sawant, in this week, last 2 to 3 days back, they both of them also said that though it is known, but the Kirtikar said that though it is known as a Thackeray Sarkar, Pawar has the most gains out of it. On the Tanay Sawant on the other side said that the funds are given less to these things. So what I want to ask you, sir, since you have handled the finance portfolio in the past as well for a longer period of time, so why these Sena and Congress guys have been repeatedly saying that they are getting less or inadequate funds in terms of their constituencies or department? What exactly is, why they are getting either that perception, or is the funds are really being given less in terms?
After this budget, that complaint is almost over. That is no misunderstanding about the distribution of funds now. But yes, we have fought elections against each other. So when we speak about the grassroots level politics or grassroots level understanding, which is less, I must agree. But we have time and again we have spoken at a higher level, and we all have agreed that grassroots level combination will have to be strengthened. Properly understanding at taluka level should be proper. So probably you will see in this month or next month that district-wise all the three parties people come together and discuss various issues in those districts, and we will try and bring everybody at the same on the same platform.
Okay.
So do you plan to contest the municipal elections, which are in several districts, across several districts, as in alliance with Congress and Sena?
No, our strategy is very simple. We will give priority for MVA. If not, at least two parties should come together But the priority is to form an alliance of all the three parties. Plus, we have Samajwadi Party with us. We have that Bachchu Kadu's party with us. We have 4, 5 other parties also supporting us. So we will try and find out at municipal level or district level to bring everybody together. Somewhere it will happen, somewhere it may not happen, somewhere partially you will see it has happened. So the attempt will be definitely there.
And which is why this exercise of getting
This will happen. We are planning to do it.
So I want to ask you about these two things. You just mentioned that after this budget, these complaints won't be there. So is there a proper allocation of the funds has been made? Is there coordination between all the three parties at the top level to ensure the adequate funds are being given to them?
No, MLA's worry is always about how much he has received uh, compared to the neighboring constituency. How much his town has received against the neighboring constituencies or any other town in the district. So, because of that, some municipalities were sanctioned underground drainage program, which could have been for 200 crore rupees. The initial amount is 10 crore rupees only. So that program will go on for 3 years, 4 years. So likewise, there was slight misunderstanding, which has, I think, almost settled.
Okay, okay. The second thing you mentioned that at the district level and taluka level there will be a coordination among all these three parties. So what I want to ask you, sir, so is it that exercise is being undertaken because the differences among the three parties at the grassroots level and district level is affecting and tarnishing the image of the MBA government, or it is to bring together all the three parties together for the 2024 elections, sir?
2024 elections are also important, but it is important for us that we three parties come together and fight local body elections also. So it will help us for strengthening MVA.
Okay.
Congress has taken a stance that they want to go alone.
Yes, they have taken in last Nagar Panchayat elections, they went alone.
Yeah, and they are still saying that they will.
And in many Nagar Panchayat, then they cooperated with either Shiv Sena, Congress, or three of them came together, depending on the number. So they tried to go alone. Past experience of Nagar Panchayat elections, looking at the experience, they may, in Nagar Palika election, they may come together.
What are the plans for Mumbai? So BMC election NCP, what exactly is our strategy, and are we
No, as
looking
I
at
said,
improvement?
huh?
Are we looking at improving our tally since last 2-3 terms we are having only 6 to 7 NCP corporators in
No, 11, 12.
in 12 there were 7.
Why you are reducing our tally?
Unless
But
there's
now
a
we will. Last time there was one. Before that there was no alliance.
Right.
Last time I think there was alliance, and this time Shiv Sena, Congress, and NCP. If they come together, there will be alliance, or at least either two parties may come together.
NCP and Shiv Sena?
Our option is to have alliance with one of the parties or all the parties.
He is also head the state unit of the NCP, and we have been a politician for close to 3.5 decades now. The aim of every political party is to expand as much as possible, to expand its footprint. Do you think fighting an alliance, for how long can this last, in the sense if NCP wants to be a strong entity and as the president of this party for the Maharashtra unit, how do you see it progressing over the next decade or so? Do you think it needs to be in an alliance to sustain itself, or?
No, now since after last assembly election, there was no option but to come together with other two parties. And in near future, if we have good grassroots level work, our strength will go up in assembly. These local body elections have nothing to do with assembly election. It appears कि इतना बढ़ गया इनका इतना कम हुआ, but in many constituencies, the person has lost Nagar Panchayat or Nagar Palika, but has won Vidhan Sabha. So people vote differently at every election. Like they will vote differently in Lok Sabha, they have voted in Maharashtra differently in Vidhan Sabha. So it depends on who all are standing in that constituency. So I think we will grow.
That's it. With the kind of strength that the BJP has, not only here in across India and in Maharashtra, do you think that the only option that opposition parties have is to fight as an alliance, as a bloc against the BJP?
No, not necessary. Different. BJP is not strong everywhere. BJP is, first of all, you should go in the history of the BJP, which was BJP always used to be 50, 60. Shiv Sena was used to reach to 80. Now BJP has gone to 105, which was last previous election it was 123 because of Modi wave. Then last assembly there was no wave, but they were in the power. So if you see 105 MLAs, 20-25% members MLAs are from either Congress or NCP. So it is the BJP strength is not more than 70 or 80.
70-80 for BJP plus ED, IT and CPI.
CPI.
So combination मिला के आप
It is like long back Wadekar, I think, had said when he toured England that we have to play against 13 players,
Yeah.
not 11 players. It is like this. Here we have to play against BJP plus the agencies.
But isn't NCP playing very soft?
And decision giving also is.
But sir, isn't NCP playing very soft if you have to play against so many players? Because we don't.
NCP is not
after
soft.
Mr. Malik has been arrested.
Nawab Malik has exposed the agencies like anything.
But after that, I mean, it seems only,
No,
only Sena is speaking. I mean, generally, it's the perception that is there. That
Sir,
Sena is-
See, every time now we have been repeatedly saying that there is a misuse of agencies. So same thing. How many times you repeat? How many times?
No,
But you also can't go silent.
No, we are not silent. Whenever we need, we speak.
no, sir. Just
Only
to add-
thing is when we speak, the publicity is not given properly.
Sir, you
That is
speak
again
and
a
you
problem.
give, proper publicity.
No, I have spoken many times.
No, just to add to Sir's question on the SB being soft, there are a couple of examples.
The style of Sanjay Raut is different. Our style is different. So he is in a different. His style is different.
Of late, he is also going silent, it seems. Huh?
I don't know, but he is very. He can write also, no?
So on linked to that only, like apart from central agencies do kar rahe, and then Maharashtra government, it seemed when they were fighting back in a certain sense, when the Paramveer Singh thing happened, when the Rashmi Shukla thing happened, what we have eventually seen is that these guys have in a sense managed to get away in a certain sense, whether it is relief from courts, etc. And there is generally a perception that is the government not being advised properly, like why is it happening that any counter-attacking move that the Maharashtra government makes, I mean these are just two examples, is and they fall flat on their faces, nothing happens. Like Mr. Paramveer Singh, जिनके खिलाफ 6-7 cases हो गए थे, he managed to not go behind bars even for one day. So there is this thing whether proper strategies are in a sense being adopted, or whether you are being advised in a proper sense.
No, actually, our fight is not against Paramveer or the Rashmi Shukla. They were working in Maharashtra government. They are working, and whatever came in front, the actions were taken. It is not a prejudice action against Paramveer or Rashmi Shukla. It is a process. Something has come, some complaints were received, the actions were taken. Nobody is monitoring it because we don't believe in doing this such type of thing. And it is not, we don't see anybody behind Paramveer or Rashmi Shukla that they are supporting them. We are taking it at face value. And things are happening. No action has been taken by the government against anybody purposely and deliberately. Nothing has happened.
So, but even
And that is why you feel that government is not doing anything.
no, sir, but even if it was
So
not
that is a success of government.
No, so even if it was not deliberate, I mean, here you have, FIRs being registered about incidents that had happened 2 years back, 3 years back, whatever. But like if you have a person जिसके खिलाफ इतने cases है, and that person kind of gets relief from the court, the case goes to CBI outside Maharashtra. So even if it was not, if the government going after anyone, even in that case, and a person who's facing so many FIRs has managed to kind of get away, and in a sense. In Maharashtra, nothing has happened, has not spent a day behind bars. So even the process from
See, it is for the time being, you may think so. I think personally that for the time being, nobody is arrested, and government intention is not to arrest anybody. We are very clear on that. But if it is proven ultimately that the person has committed some crime, eventually it will happen. Nobody can escape from anything. The system is such that I don't think anybody, you can keep on remaining away from the jail for some time, but not always. Eventually something goes wrong and it happens. Now inquiries have been given to CBI. So we think CBI will also do proper investigation and do the needful.
But just a final question on the same lines is, do you think that a lot of these sensitive cases being handed over to central agencies by the courts, in a sense, also impacts the morale of the state police machinery, wherein one after the other these important cases are being handed over to central agencies?
Now it is up to the general public to think about all this. We cannot comment on court's decision. But public perception is becoming like this. The question itself has answer. We cannot say that government courts are sending cases to CBI. Maybe some on technical grounds, some issues, or then court may have felt that the state machinery is deliberately bringing something against individual, and they have taken decisions. So we don't want to say anything on that. But public perception is what your question indirectly suggests.
The BJP also seems to have massive access to information from the bureaucracy, the state bureaucracy, from the state police force as well. I mean, the way Mr. Fadnavis is coming out with pen drives after pen drives. Invariably, somewhere, people who are working in the system, government employees are helping.
I don't think so. But when we are saying that we are playing against 13, so in this case against 105 plus 3, all the 3 agencies must be helping him.
And
So you don't think state machinery,
Why should we
not you, I mean the
not
bureaucracy or-
show the trust on our bureaucracy? I don't think so. He can have different sources to get his information. And when you are a leader of opposition, you get information from, he also doesn't understand ki kahan se information aa raha hai. That is the leader of opposition always receives
That is the
information.
official version.
So, but your own party president before the, like soon after the MBA government was formed, so Sharad Pawar himself had said that, in this particular, the previous BJP government, the police was used to frame certain set of people, and how the MBA would do course correction and would set up inquiries to inquire into the behavior of certain police officers in the state. And that was an announcement that was made soon after the MBA came to power. It's been now more than 2 years. I mean, somewhere it kind of feels like, I mean, the way BJP uses its machinery to, kind of pin down its opponents. Somehow the MBA seems to be a bit hesitant in setting up even legal inquiries where such inquiries were necessary. So why were, like, that was an inquiry that was promised by Mr. Pawar himself. Why was that inquiry never kind of instituted?
So now, for example, Rashmi Shukla, some cases, some complaints received, there is a ongoing inquiry. Then Parambir Singh, few things went wrong, the inquiry has started. Whether it is from the state or from the CBI machinery, it is different. Now state was doing it, all the cases have gone to, a lot of complaints were received in last 1 year. So what Mr. Pawar said is happening, but not we always, he is also of the opinion that we don't want to go after someone. So that is...
Sir, with regards to the action by the central agencies against the various MBA leaders, including Sena, NCP, and the relatives of the various leaders, so how do you look at it, sir? Because soon after the government was formed, they have been attacking either NCP or the Sena with a view to topple it or take one of the party into them. So it has been almost 2.5 years that the government has completed. So how do you look at it, where it is headed now? Whether they are looking for harassing or putting some leaders behind the bars, or whether they are looking at toppling the government, because some of these leaders continuously give some dates that this will happen after this and all that. So how do you look at it? Because 2.5 years has completed and 2.5 years are left now. So what is your take on this?
No, they are, everyone knows that they have tried every way for toppling the state government. Now they have concluded that we cannot topple the government. So then the second aspect is badnaam karo inko. So they are after individual ministers, and before anything happens, the news comes out, well, a lot of publicity is given to the story that this ministers, this fellow has done so and so, and then they raid the person or premises. So it is a properly managed story, and then raid is conducted. All attempts are for toppling the government.
Okay. So, but the biggest hit has been taken by NCP in terms of two leaders.
And still you are saying we are soft on BJP.
That is why I am saying no, because you should be most aggressive. Because
No, aggressive म्हणजे यहाँ से नीचे थोड़ी कूद सकते हैं कोई. What do you mean by aggression? You tell us what should we do to prove that we are aggressive?
I can only tell you what we read, what is going on. I mean, I can't tell you your strategy.
See,
but
in public perception, it is NCP, which is a prominent opposition to BJP. And we have been affected also, and we have been fighting against them.
Even Shiv Sena, people are saying that NCP is soft on BJP. And not one, there are several leaders who are saying.
It is like, it is everybody's point of view. But whenever anything wrong, now for Kashmir films, we spoke against Kashmir film first, nobody else. These questions should be asked to other parties.
But you said ये सारा करने के बाद बदनाम कर रहे हैं सरकार को, डोंट यू थिंक इट विल डैमेज इन अपकमिंग म्युनिसिपल इलेक्शंस और ग्राम पंचायत इलेक्शन, व्हाटएवर इलेक्शंस आर
It will affect BJP
But-
because people now have realized कि ये जानबूझ के कर रहे हैं. So you will see BJP's vote share will go down.
But since they are, you said that they are successfully setting up that narrative कि इस सरकार में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, there is a lot of corruption, इसको अंदर किया, उसको अंदर किया.
I told you many things my own department has done, which is very prominent actions we have taken. So,
Yeah, please, sir.
so likewise, other departments have also performed. Now, you will see Social Justice Department, Dhananjay Munde's work, his last 2 years, his achievements, his department's achievement. We'll display next fortnight. You will see that also. And every department is doing good work, and the budget was also very good this year. In spite of hit, we have given 50,000 rupees. Like first initial month, we announced loan waiver scheme for farmers who had taken loan up to 2 lakh rupees. Now this budget, after we have realized that we can afford to spend some more money, we had announced that 50,000 rupees will be up to 50,000 rupees. Supposing if you have taken 23,000 loan, so you will get bonus of 23,000 rupees as regular repayment, regular farmer who has not defaulted. So we are doing so many things.
You just mentioned that it will affect the BJP and their vote share may get reduced. So that what I want to ask you is that don't you think that BJP might have thought something behind it? Do they want to get their vote
No,
share
when
reduced?
person becomes desperate, thinking stops.
So just something related to what these people have been asking. BJP is constantly, harassing you all, saying that they will topple the government, they are using the agencies. So in these 2.5 years, how is that? Has it affected the way you all are? Has it affected the government in any which way? Like, it affected the investments coming in. That the investors are not sure that you should invest because there is so much of instability going on. Or in any which way, has it affected
No, we have received a lot of investment.
No, just for an example, I mean.
No.
Okay.
It
Any
is not
other
the
way
question.
it is
People know
affected?
that the 3 wise parties have come together. So no problem.
At some level, the wisdom prevailed in 2019.
So what is the status of the probe into the Fadnavis government's flagship irrigation scheme, Jal Yukt Shivar Yojana? You were saying that there will be a...
I don't have, often I don't know exactly where the stage has gone. But I think some places they have found some things which are not on the ground but money is spent. Some cases are there. But in different districts, the scheme was implemented all over Maharashtra. So whether that work is done or not, small works were there.
But
So
any irregularities found to leading to...
I think many places they have found irregularities.
Leading up
Many,
to
few places.
Not been leading up to the CM, like anything, the former CM, anything that...
How can it reach to CM? Because he was not the signatory of the, so it will reach up to the officials of the department.
Do you think it was an effective scheme?
Like that scheme was in Maharashtra existing, like Pani Adva, Pani Jirva was the scheme which was launched many years ago. It was marketed well. Now implemented not very effectively.
तो मेरे 2 सवाल एक्चुअली देखिए आपने 20 साल के करियर में कभी आपने ईडी पे क्रैश कोर्स किया था केसेस को इस्तेमाल कर सकते नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हाउ टू यूज इट बीजेपी यूज इट मच बेटर और दूसरा है डू यू थिंक एक्सपोजिंग द होल आर्यन खान केस
Last question, I will respond first. The response is yes. He is paying his price, and he has exposed not Aryan Khan case, but exposed officials, those officers who misused the Adhikar authority which was with them. And what was the first question?
About ED cases इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए थी क्रैश को इतने सालों में आपने कभी सीखा नहीं था बीजेपी ने
नहीं।
इस्तेमाल किया nobody knew about ED
See, I have trust in Indian people's wisdom. When Indira Gandhi lost her election, she was behind bars by then Janata Party. And just because they put her behind bars, when she came out, she swept the election in 1980. People don't like in this country revenge politics.
So, but अभी 4 states में they come with
Oh,
even
ED
states where they were about to lose, they have come victorious.
No, see, UP elections, let us take UP elections. UP elections, this is my personal opinion, not my party's opinion, that the work done by Yogi Adityanath against Gundagardi, that law and order was much better than any other government. That was what local people say. And so his percentage votes in women must have gone up. Secondly, if you see the numbers, MIM, Mayawati took away a lot of votes. So many places, 86 constituencies, Samajwadi Party lost by a margin of 2,000 votes, less than 2,000 votes. And in all those constituencies, MIM secured 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, 800, Mayawati getting 3,000 votes. Likewise, if Akhilesh Singh had united the opposition, maybe result would have been different. But MIM is always the game spoiler.
So how will you get AMIM with you?
No, people have realized now MIM is desperate and asking us ki hame le lo, because they have realized ki they will lose the ground now. Because this is the first time Indian people have realized ki MIM spoils the game.
So will you get them in the? You said that you want to go
No,
with the coalition.
we will not get them, because we are very clear. They are extremists, and we don't agree to any extremism in this country.
I mean, even if you want to answer this off the record, sir, you have given very safe answers. I know, I mean, you are not going to say it, but just to understand, of your political wisdom, you come from a political family, your rating of people, of politics, of trends is going to be far better than most of us sitting here. आप कुछ भी बोलो कि people are emotional and that's why BJP is winning. There is some reason that there is something that the BJP is doing right at this point of time for it to have this kind of success in India. As a politician, as a grassroots politician, what do you think is the stuff that BJP is doing that other political parties are not doing at this point of time? And for political parties to emerge as a strong force against the BJP, what are the things that they need to know?
Grassroots level, booth level work has to be strong. Then only you can win. Now BJP has understood this game, and they did the same when first time they won in Uttar Pradesh. Amit Shah ji went there, stayed for 5-6 months, and did this grassroots level work. So 2 years. So you need to do grassroots level work. If you sit in Mumbai and keep saying a lot of things against BJP, will not work. That is why I toured entire Maharashtra. Now my last spell will begin from Pune to Kolhapur and get over on 23rd of April. But I am confident that slowly and steadily in next 2 years, our grassroots level work and party structure will be very strong. That is what we are trying to. Now, we cannot compare ourselves for the machinery which BJP has and uses. We cannot compare ourselves. We cannot match their level of aggression in because they take support of Hinduism. So that is one additional tool they use. So that is the emotional tool they use. But Maharashtra, if we work properly at grassroots level, our number in next 2024 will increase definitely.
Sir, you are one of the big regional parties. You have also ventured into various other states. Would you be willing to, Mamata Banerjee has been projecting herself as to take on Mr. Modi in 2024. I mean, do you agree, if an alliance were to be formed, what would be NCP's sort of take? Would you go under her leadership or Mr. Pawar will be projected? I mean, how do you see that?
I am not a person who can comment on this because it is a national level politics. But what I see from far is Mamata Banerjee does respect Mr. Sharad Pawarji. Now, whether this will become a new alliance in the country or not, I think time only will tell us.
Because these are two big
It is
states,
too
Maharashtra and
premature to say anything on that line. But there are things happening in different parties. Within the party also, some parties are doing introspection. So probably a good solution can come out.
So just to take forward sir's question, yesterday the NCP's youth wing in Delhi has proposed Pawar Sahib's names for the UPA chairperson. Pawar Sahib was himself present for the meeting and the proposal was passed without any objection. However, the Congress in Maharashtra has taken an objection to the proposal saying that the Congress will have its way for the UPA. So how do you see? Because in the time in the past also Sanjay Raut from the Shiv Sena or multiple Shiv Sena leaders have also spoken in favor of Pawar Sahib's name, and at that point of time also Congress has taken an objection. So how do you look at it, sir?
Congress being the larger party in the Indian politics, Sonia Gandhi is chairperson of UPA. When UPA becomes strong, when other parties also align, so all the parties should come together and think about how to go ahead. It is, according to me, I don't give more value to who is who is saying what. Ultimately, all the parties should come, sit together and decide. It is not that a party can demand and it happens. So it is ultimately wisdom will prevail of all the parties' leaders and they will take a call. Today, it is a fact that Sonia Gandhi is a chairperson. We cannot neglect that.
You have been the Home Minister of the state as well earlier. Now with elections coming, there seems to be, there are small incidents that are happening across Maharashtra where things, there are communal incidents that are happening. Yesterday we had the Mumbai City's BJP president sitting on a dharna in a police station just because a person who ran over someone belonged to a particular religion. Do you foresee communal trouble in Maharashtra in the coming few days? And what is the MVA doing to ensure that there are no communal conflicts in Maharashtra with elections just around the corner?
MVA is very alert on this, and as we are going closer to the local body elections, there may be some attempts of creating some trouble between the two communities, two religious groups. So we are very alert. And as you are rightly saying, there could be an attempt to create some riots, some dangas in Maharashtra. Could be. So MVA, the Home Department needs to be very alert on this.
Sir, on this issue of communalization, this is more of a personal question. This is what we have read, or we have that you have a soft corner for Mr. Sambhaji Bhide. So Bhide recently made a very provocative statement. So what is your?
I don't have any soft corner for him.
What is your
Who says?
relationship? I mean, आम्हाला जे काही आम्ही जे
No,
वाचतो
I-
किंवा तिथल्या लोकांशी
Actually, see, he comes from Sangli.
हम्म,
That's all.
हम्म.
And I behave with everybody with respect and proper. You cannot. Our Sanskruti tells us to behave properly with everyone. So when he said something wrong, I had condemned him. I had made statements against him. So it is. I have nothing to do with him. Neither he is in touch with me. And I am against what he does exactly. We don't agree to what his ideology, philosophy, and he is directly doing BJP works. He is a campaigner of BJP, but takes Shivaji Maharaj's name, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He hides behind that. But the following has drastically reduced, his following.
You have spent like recent life in the US, continued with your engineering, settled down there. So, do you ever kind of think that कुठे याच्यात पडलो म्हणजे in politics?
This is the best question. Have you seen Guide?
Yeah.
You have seen Guide movie? He goes in temple and then he becomes. So I was not at all in politics when my father died. He died in 84 January. So when he died, I was doing masters in US. So I came back. After coming back, second day he died because he was serious. And then his colleagues, after 13 days, they came and met my mother and insisted that either of your son should join politics. And our dad my father never took us to constituency, never introduced us to anybody like these days happening. He always taught us, study well and do some job, do some business, but not coming on this side. Maybe he never expected us to go on this side. So we were all reluctant from the family. We were not having any interest, but people came and sat in Mumbai in my mother's front and in front of mother, and they insisted कि दोन्ही पैकी एक तरी आलाच पाहिजे, because they had local elections. So they may have thought कि everybody, all chunk, my father's following was very big. So they said कि सबको इकट्ठा रखने के लिए one of the family member has to come. So my family decided that my brother was the only earning member in our house. He was mechanical engineer doing WMI cranes mein, he was doing job, something he was doing. So if he goes, then so everybody sat together and said कि जयंत ला पाठवा, let Jayant go. 3-4 महीने इनका जो उत्साह है वो शांत हो जाएगा, then Jayant will come and go abroad. That was our family plan. So I took one bag and went there with 3-4 shirts, 3-4 trousers. थोड़े दिन रहने का बाद में जाना है. Slowly, when I went there, my father's following was so strong. I am proud of it. Today also, people cry when they take my father's name. So his personal connect was extraordinary. I don't think any politician can have that personal connect to his constituents and his colleagues. So they all realized that he can be a good future. So they started supporting me so much. And the younger generation was supporting me so much. Oh, guide jaisa hua. I got involved in the whole thing. And then elections, sugar factory elections, I contested because they wanted me to. And then they made me chairman. And then I went on doing work. Then thoda problem was that university used to send me later after 6 months. Then ultimately they sent we are forfeiting your fees.
There are so many young leaders who want to get into politics, but in Maharashtra we don't have student politics at all. We stopped it in 90s, and after that it has not started. And most of the times we see those young leaders who are coming into politics are from political families. So you think it is time that we have student elections in universities and colleges?
You're right. This is happening, I do agree. But the problem is nowadays, if we start the elections again, kidnapping, all they go out of way and do anything. That is what we were experiencing lately. That is why it was stopped. Because a lot of criminal people were surrounding college areas. They used to take away the students. Now today you may think this, but then the situation was so bad. Every college had law and order problem. They had tough time to control students' election ka mahol. Very difficult. And now to money and muscle power plays important role. So बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. दिखने में अच्छा है, लेकिन जब होगा तब आप ही you will only write what is this happening, please stop.
But with regulations, sir, like how it happens?
कुछ regulation इंडिया में नहीं चलता. When there is a mob, there is mob lynching, तो कैसा regulation का कहाँ पता ही नहीं पड़ता है.
I think today is in Monday, second time you're mentioning about films. One was on Twitter to the Israeli representative suggesting him to now about Guide. So first, have you seen?
Third time. Kashmir Files. Kashmir Files.
Guide.
Right. Was there also an interest to get involved in filmmaking?
Oh no.
With the films?
No.
Enjoy watching movies.
In Corona time, when everything was lockdown, so watching Fauda, watching all these types of Netflix and other films, that was the only work we could do.
Sir, also in the answer you mentioned that how BJP, the current scheme was marketed well by the former CM. Do you think other parties are lacking somewhere about marketing the work that they are doing? And do you want to get involved rigorously into marketing the work that you are? As you listed down the project that you completed.
See, now I'll give you example. When it was BJP and Shiv Sena government, it was not only BJP government. Shiv Sena's work was never marketed.
Exactly.
So he hijacked the government last time. That is why he is now today in opposition. Had he given enough justice to Shiv Sena side, he wouldn't have stayed in opposition today. So that did not happen. Here we are balanced.
But he's still trying.
तो करेंगे ना.
Sir, Shiv Sena.
First time I am seeing the frustration in opposition side and desperation.
So Shiv Sena has gone too far in terms of the fight. It's become too personal, it seems. and they also say कि अब कोई chance नहीं है कि BJP के साथ they will ever have an alliance. Can NCP also say that?
हमारे के चांस की तो चर्चा ही नहीं है हमारे
सर आप ही के साथ तो बनी थी सर
कहीं
80 घंटे की सरकार जो थी
हमारे साथ नहीं बनी थी
मतलब
हमारे साथ नहीं बनी थी वो किडनैप करके सरकार की गई थी इट वाज नॉट विथ हिज माइंड
किडनैप था ना
नहीं यानी वो जिस तरह से हुई उसके उससे वो गवर्नर रूल भी हट गया हमारा भी काम हो गया तो हम उसको वो भी कुछ
कभी मतलब you don't see any मतलब NCP never going with BJP वो कभी you don't see a
नहीं,
possibility.
सवाल ही नहीं है ना वो तो आपको कैसे लगता है
सर अगर
आपको आई कैन सू यू फॉर दिस
अगर होना भी हो तो ऐसे फोरम में तो अगर होना भी हो तो वो ऐसे फोरम में तो नहीं डिस्कस होगा लेकिन सर एक मुझे
नहीं होना ही नहीं होगा ही नहीं ना
इनको भी सुना देगा
याच्यासाठी विचारतो की फक्त इन टर्म्स ऑफ ऑप्टिक्स जेव्हा माणूस ती गोष्ट बघतो जेव्हा हाऊ बीजेपी बिहेव्स विथ सर्टन पीपल ऑफ द एनसीबी आय मीन जेव्हा देवेंद्र फडणवीस बोलतात ते आक्रोशात ही स्पीक्स विथ सो मच ऑफ जेव्हा द डिस्कशन ऑन लॉ अँड ऑर्डर द वे ही वॉज स्पीकिंग बट द वे ही वॉज सो सॉफ्ट ऑन Ajit Dada, or I mean, when he made references to Baramati, he categorically said, you know, this is not about you. When he was speaking to Mr. Valse about Valse Patil, he said, sir, मी तुमच्यावरती काय हे करत नाही. म्हणजे सर्टन एनसीपी लीडर्स अरे बाहेरून लोकांना असं जेव्हा ते बघतात त्यांना वाटतं इनको तो मतलब बिल्कुल ही फ्री वो दे दिया है.
नहीं अभी देखो अजीत पवार के ऊपर इतने रेड गिरे एक्शंस आर बीइंग टेकन अगेंस्ट हिम सो व्हेन यू आर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू सामने बैठे तो बोलेंगे ना दिस इज नॉट अगेंस्ट यू बट दिस इज देयर दैट इज अ वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग I am speaking against Home Department and I don't have anything against him but his department is doing this ऐसे बोलते हैं ना तुमच्याबद्दल काय नाही मला माहिती आहे तुम्ही काय केलेलं नाही बट दिस इज दैट इज द वे वो शिवसेना का सब्जेक्ट होगा तो उसके ऊपर भी बोलते हैं वो ऐसा कोई ये नहीं है तो बोलायची पद्धतच आहे आता
शिवसेना बहुत दुखी है इन सब डेवलपमेंट्स को देख के
I mean, there are two examples I can add to Sir's question. One is that Fadnavis episode wherein he was summoned and then his statement was recorded at his residence. And the second is when the Fadnavis raised the pen drive issue in the assembly. It took almost 5 days for the Home Minister to answer this. When the answer was supposed to be given on the third day, the opposition requested the government to give the answer letter because they were going for organizing some protest and all that thing. So it appears that the Valse Patil accepted that and then the answer was given later on. So
No, it happened in front of me that he made a speech. Valse Patil was next day ready, but he requested कि we are not going to be there. I am going to Goa. Then when opposition is not there, responding हवा में करके कोई फायदा नहीं ना. They should also listen to what he said, and he mentioned many things. Though it was a soft speech, he mentioned several things, indicated several things. He also mentioned कि judiciary को तो कम से कम अलग रखो, स्वतंत्र रखो. यानी it says so much.
Again, one more question. 3 decades in politics. I mean, आम्ही जितकं 2009 when till 2014 when you were government, we used to see people. I mean, even if you were in opposition, there was like a certain degree of comfort between the ruling part benches and the opposition benches. Do you think with BJP now coming like the position that it has achieved, the things between people, political opponents has started becoming personal in a sense where people are personally opposed to individuals. There is a lot of hatred.
Yes.
Has that increased?
It was never ever in till 2014. We never went to that level. But after that, things are not the same. नको मला नको काय हे आहे तिकडे सगळ्यांना द्या मला नको. So unfortunately it has gone to that level which is not good for the state. आणि असं प्रत्येकाचं काही ना काही 20-25 वर्षापूर्वीचं हुडकायचं आणि काढायचं. You dig for records of 20 years, 15 years, take out and put all the cases like NIA you bring, CIA, CBI you bring, all agencies you bring. I don't think that is right thing to do. ठीक आहे, आता they are doing it, but overriding powers are there in ED. So NIA also बरेच powers आहेत त्यांना. And that is not good for the country. Not today, but maybe after 10 years, 15 years, things will be different, and then people will say कि तभी से चालू किया ये गलत किया.
15 साल दे रहे हो तो
होणारच ना, ते लगेच होत नाही. पण लोकांना आता कसं आहे की every time, like Kejriwal's speech you may have heard, if you have done work for 7 years, why do you have to go to that producer and help him? That means you are taking help of a film. So polarization करायची तुम्हाला गरज पडते. म्हणजे you have realized your limitations. So you are taking help of polarization. त्यात काय अर्थ आहे?
सर आपका रीडिंग क्या है कि जैसे पेट्रोल का दाम बहुत बढ़ रहा है, डीजल का दाम बढ़ रहा है, सिलेंडर का दाम बढ़ ही है, ये आम पब्लिक को फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है कि स्टिल लेवल में बीजेपी है, क्या देख रहे हो आप?
ये एक बात ऐसी है कि पेट्रोल के दाम बढ़ रहे हैं, हमने कोई एजिटेशन किया, हमने यानी अपोजिशन ने ज़्यादा दिखता नहीं कहीं. ऐसा नहीं कि एजिटेशंस नहीं होते, लेकिन दे आर नॉट शोन रिपीटेडली ऑन द टेलीविजन. दे आर कवर्ड वंस, मे बी फॉर द इवनिंग ऑफ 2 hours, 2-4 बार बताते हैं, एंड देन इट्स ऑफ. नेक्स्ट डे इट इज़ नॉट कैरिड. So I am not saying about the print media, I am saying about the channels. So any against news चलती ही नहीं देश में ज़्यादा देर. By mistake लगी तो भी थोड़ी देर के बाद हट जाती है. If I have given a bite against BJP in the morning, I don't see it in the afternoon. I don't see it in the evening. Very rarely बताते हैं. And if it is not damaging to their side, तो चलते रहता है. इतना कुछ नहीं, ठीक हो, चलने दो. So they are monitoring the media so well. I appreciate their monitoring skill. That इतना महंगाई बढ़ने के बाद भी people are not underestimating that side and giving more weightage to a personality in that state or other कार्यक्रम. अभी like गोवा, there was no reason for BJP to win. लेकिन 3 पार्टी, वो तृणमूल भी गई उधर, ये झाड़ू वाले आप भी गए, कांग्रेस भी अलग. कांग्रेस also thought कि हम चुन के ही आएंगे, तो शिवसेना, बीजेपी, एनसीपी को भी बाजू में रख दिया. So everything went in their advantage. And yes, Mr. देवेंद्र फडणवीस, महाराष्ट्र में से कृष्ण जो गया था.
Sir, ये as I said, BJP somewhere we feel ये effectively they are social media पे सारा चल रहा है. ऐसा ना कि एक there is a kind of brainwashing. मतलब TV तो एक जरिया है, but there are a lot of things they are doing on social media. They are sending messages. They are if there is a, as you said, you have been
back end machinery of BJP is very strong.
Yes.
That we appreciate.
So, but
अभी हो रहा है तो क्या करेंगे?
no,
Backend भी strong है, ground mobilization भी strong है.
ग्राउंड मोबिलाइजेशन स्ट्रांग नहीं है. काफी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज ऐसे हैं कि वहाँ पे इतनी स्ट्रांग नहीं है. दैट इज व्हाई आई विल गिव यू द नंबर नाउ. इन लास्ट नगर पंचायत इलेक्शंस NCP vote share was 16.71%. So NCP received 92,16,000 votes, whereas Shiv Sena received 90,49,000 votes, 16.41, and Indian National Congress received 87,52,000 votes. This is the vote sharing, 15.87%. About almost 47% votes, 48%, 16, 32, 33, almost 50% votes. मैं मालूम नहीं कितने वोट, लेकिन 16%, 50% votes were voted in favor of these people. NCP Nagar Panchayat 29 presidents today in Maharashtra are of NCP. 30 vice presidents of different municipalities, Nagar Panchayat, are of NCP. Shiv Sena, 27 places Shiv Sena presidents are there, 16 places vice presidents are there. Indian National Congress has 20 presidents and 21 vice presidents. As against this, BJP is only 20 presidents and 21 vice presidents. So you can imagine that 76 presidents are from MVA against 20 presidents from BJP. See, there is a big difference. So grassroots level पे सब जगह नहीं है, लेकिन मशीनरी उनकी, यंत्रणा उनकी, कोशिश उनकी है. We cannot underestimate that.
सर मैं नीचे एग्जांपल देता हूँ. ऑटो वाला आया था, मैं जा रहा था, उस बीच में टीवी में चलाया था पुतिन और यूक्रेन के बीच में मोदी के आर्गुमेंट की. मोदी के सुनने वाला फाइनली पुतिन और
दोनों मोदी की सुन रहे हैं.
क्या है?
वो ऑस्कर में उसने मारा उसको तो उसमें भी बोले मोदी, like there were memes doing the rounds. I mean,
but people actually believe it. हम लोग यहाँ हंस रहे हैं, टीवी नीचे people buy it.
So they are effectively using that technology, sir. I mean, do you think कि अब कांग्रेस NCP या जो इसमें बहुत बड़े लेवल पे there is a gap, बीजेपी जिस तरह से कर रही है and no any other party.
There is a gap. I agree.
So they are actually successfully setting a narrative कि हाँ ये ऐसा ही है. अब टीवी पे क्या दिखा रहा हो, पेपर में क्या है, there is another world to that thing.
But now large number of younger generation has realized कि ये सोशल मीडिया का गिमिक भी है इसमें. तो अलर्टनेस तो तैयार हुआ है. Slowly other parties are also using it. Almost all the parties now.
So, I'm going to say that there are a few things which we already discussed which are creating a narrative. Like, for example, BJP winning in few states just recently. Apart from that, the agencies which are working in Maharashtra for BJP. And then again, the fact that they were the single largest party, but they did not form the government in Maharashtra. So, as we near the 2044 elections, what is the MVA government doing? Do they have a roadmap as to how they will defend against these narratives? And secondly, how they will market the good work? Like in this 5 years, what good work they did so as to defend themselves against this narrative? And of course, the whole media news channel that you talked about. So with so many things going in their favor, any plans the MVA is discussing as to how they will fight back, how they will counter it?
Against the social media?
Not just social media, so like the fact that they won in a few states, the fact that they was a single largest party last time around, the fact that they are using the central agencies to say that there is a lot of corruption here. So how will the MBA counter them in the 2 years are left? The work that they have done now, the work that they will be doing in the, how will they, do they have a counter narrative to fight back against the BJP and ensure that they come for a second term, the MBA?
There are two things. One is first 2 years they were trying to form the government in Maharashtra. Now they have gone into a mode of doing showing people that how corrupt the government is. They are trying to. So slowly the reactions. This first time Chief Minister spoke in Assembly, which was very strong message to all Shiv Sainiks as well as to the general public. So I hope you have heard him and seen his speech. So government is going to be very firm and aggressive now. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
And we will also show how they are wrong. Slowly it will come. Now when the elections start, people will start speaking. The people who are in power don't keep on saying every day. But people who are in opposition, they have to say every day.
Yeah.
So every day we need not react.
Correct.
तो कोई चंद्रकांत दादा बोलेंगे कि ऐसा ऐसा है, तो एवरी टाइम वी हैव टू गिव रिएक्शन टू इट. ठीक नहीं है. और जितना ज़्यादा बोलते हैं उतना लोगों को ये लगता है, they don't believe you if you keep on saying continuously. अभी कितने बार डेडलाइन दिए, ये 7 तारीख को सरकार गिरने वाली है. You should invite Devendra Fadnis here and I will give you questions.
सही बोल रहे हैं वो, डेट दे रहे हैं सर हर महीने, वो साल नहीं बता रहे हैं. तो दैट यू शुड बी हैप्पी विद दैट.
Sir, have something.
I had known, I won't have.
Actually, the communal politics that worked in UP, I think it can work in Maharashtra as well. Like, the communal politics.
Communal politics. Communal politics will work in certain pockets. We cannot totally ignore that. It will work. Now, minority-dominated constituencies will behave differently. A neighboring constituency will behave differently, like Malegaon. Malegaon outer behaves differently as compared to Malegaon Assembly Central. So, likewise, people do react to this communal politics. We cannot totally ignore it. Whatever we say, still it affects. Now, the seats where minority population is more, if MIM candidate comes, last time election में if they have got 7,000 votes, they may get 3,000 votes because people have realized कि ये इनको मारने के लिए इसका इस्तेमाल, it is a BJP's B team. So people have realized. So in last assembly election, Vanchit was there, MIM was there. They unitedly formed an alliance and tried to take away many votes. इसलिए हमारी संख्या कम हो गई. हमारे 100 आ गए दोनों के मिलके. शायद 120, 130 तक भी जा सकते थे. लेकिन उनके साथ वोट गए. We were willing to take them in our alliance. But we realized that they never wanted to come in alliance. They just wanted to keep negotiations and increase their value. But now people have realized कि MIM का कुछ काम नहीं, इसका भी कुछ काम नहीं. If they want to defeat votes which go to them, they are mainly MIM votes. तो बीजेपी को हराने के लिए जो voting होता है, वही वोट्स है वो, तो अभी वो उनका परसेंटेज शेयर कम हो जाएगा.
Like MNS, like how Shivsena wants to go to MS, now they possibly do something like that.
No, that is different and this is different.
Jayaprakash covers crimes, sir. So I think